I know we've changed up the times today. We'll have the day off. We have the ability to start practice a little earlier, and that'll let us stay out there the entire time that the NCAA allows. Going back to the Southern Miss game, it was great to have Samuel Stewart back. He hadn't played since Western Kentucky, and he had a career game with 132 yards, scored 3 touchdowns. And I was also really proud of the job our offensive line did. You go there and you're missing Connor Patterson since the Western Kentucky game. You're missing your starting center. You're missing Peter Godber at guard. It forced Corey Klingler to play center, forced Isaiah Edwards to play guard, and we had to start freshman Joseph Dill at the other guard with Sam Pierce and Calvin Anderson at tackle, and I thought they really competed well. We gave up some sacks. I don't think we would have, but I was really just proud of those guys, the way they tried to communicate, the way they tried to help Joseph Dill in his first college start. I thought Tyler Staling showed a lot of poise in the pocket where he was under duress a lot. He made some key plays for us. I like the way Nate German is progressing in the owl package. We actually threw 2 passes out of it, and he completed 2 passes, had 180 net rushing yards. That's a good defense. It's a good football team. Defensively, our linebackers, I think really are 2 of the top linebackers in the conference. They are really playing well. Alex and Emmanuel, I think our corners are playing well. We've got to get the defensive line. Proud of those guys. We went there too without Zach Abercrombie and without Carl Thompson. Roe Wilkins, the freshman, got extended playing time. I thought he stepped up and did a nice job. But we've got to eliminate – you're never going to eliminate, but we've got to contain some of those big plays we're giving up on missed tackles. Most of Southern Miss's offense was on the big play. 63 plays, we play outstanding football, and then 8 plays, we give up big plays. Not going to win a lot of games doing that, I thought. We got to continue to work in that area. I got to do a better job. We got to get those big plays, 8 down to 4. The defense had 3 turnovers, so we got some turnovers. Actually then you go Saturday, you have a day off, you put on your television in the morning and you watch the Southern Miss UTSA game, and before you can blink your eye, UTSA's up 21-0 on big plays. I thought the UTSA's 2-3 on the year. They've beat Alabama State and Southern Miss. They've played well against Arizona State. I think Coach Wilson's done a nice job. They're playing very disciplined, hard-nosed football. They're very multiple offensively, jumping out of 1 back to 2 back and running power games. And same defensively, multiple, solid, playing hard, tackling well in space. It's a game we're going to have to play our best to win it. We got to create turnovers defensively. We got to take care of the ball offensively, and we got to continue just to improve this entire football team. And I think each week we get a little better. This week we'll get Peter Godber back in the O-line. That's going to help us. We'll get Carl Thompson back. So that was key to having this week off, just to get some bodies back on the field. I think we'll come back refreshed and refocused and really play well second half of this season.
Coach, did the bye come at the right time?
Sir?
Did the bye come just at the right time?
Well, just from a health standpoint, we'll get some of those guys back. Had we not had it, Austin Walters wouldn't have played last week. He was put on the concussion protocol, and he'll be back. So you get some guys like that back that wouldn't have been there. I don't know that we'd had Carl back if we hadn't had this break. And Zach Abercrombie tragically, had wrist surgery last Friday, and so his season's over. The blessing there is he started as a true freshman, so we'll be able to get a medical on him. If you think back to Western Kentucky, that's when we lost Connor Patterson to an ACL. And then we were able to stabilize where we Initially, if you remember, we were playing Isaiah Edwards out at the tackle, until we lost Peter Godburn, and that's what forced us to move Peter in. Then we had to move Corey Klingler from guard to center, and that's what forced Joseph Dill to play. So that's what I mean. Those guys, for the movement we've had up there, are working well together. It's hard on those guys. In 13 and 8, where we won 10 games, we didn't have injuries. This year right now we haven't had a lot, but we've had some key ones. Cody Hennessy, with his elbow, be out 6 to 8 weeks. The senior, the defensive tackle, and Connor Patterson, the senior, and Darian Pollard's still out, the senior, with his foot. And that's where these young people just got to step up and make plays. And that's what this game's about. You never win with a healthy club. Nobody in the country does. And somebody's got to step up and make a play.
What's your message to the guys? Despite the slow start, there's still a lot of football.
A lot of football left. Yeah.
Your message. Just grind it out. Let's get.
Yeah, and you know what? We had a great week. Right. We had a great week of practice last week. These guys are playing hard. They're trying hard. They're doing everything we ask them to do, and that's encouraging. They're not pointing fingers. They're uniting in the cause, and I like how we worked last week, and I like that we got to take some time off too to get refreshed. They need a little time away from us, and I think they like that, and I think we'll come back and really play well the second half of the season.
Coach, surprised by that UTSA result?
Absolutely, yes. I don't know just how well you just looked at the UTSA scores going into that game, and they had been really close against Arizona State, lost in a tough one to Old Dominion, and just knew how good Southern Miss was, but they came out and jumped on them and had just big play after big play. They only ran really 47 plays. UTSA only had 47 plays in the game.
It seemed like, the same thing I said, it seemed like you guys are running more fluid teams, Texas, Army, UTSA, maybe take a step forward. It seemed like you guys are schedule's a lot tougher than
Well, we're still a young football team. We're primarily sophomores growing up. That's why we get better each rep. I think that's why we have such a great attitude in what we're doing. We're not winning, but I think they can see the improvement.